Angie, author of Secrets for Less Stress, life coach and consultant for small business owners, and full-time RVer. I have been called for quite some time to really work on my YouTube channel, and I've been not doing it because I thought it needed to be perfect. So I'm coming to you perfectly imperfect. I don't do edits, and I'm using note cards, people. All right, let's get going. Today, I want to show you how I handle living an hour away from the grocery store. It is part of life sometimes, especially when you're living on the road, or maybe you do live in a remote area. And it's one of those things that just stresses the crap out of you trying to figure out what to do. But in an RV, it's totally different. If you disagree, let me know. We are currently in beautiful Island Park, Idaho, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The weather is finally broke. I'm in my shorts and t-shirt today, so yay! We had snow like 2 weeks ago, and since we've been in our RV, our goal is to be in our shorts as often as possible. But today it is absolutely beautiful. But the kicker is the grocery store is over an hour away, and we're here for several months because we're half an hour from the west entrance of Yellowstone National Park, and a million other awesome fun things to see. And the park here is surrounded by mountains. There's still snow on the top of the mountains, even though we're in our shorts today. It's so beautiful. Anyway, back to today's topic. I just wanted to let you know that I've done meal planning as a part of my stress relief or stress reducer for years. But being this far from the store and having a tiny RV fridge makes things a little more challenging. We don't have a deep freeze like we had in the house. We don't have a big fridge. It's just a little guy. Um, Muriel, there's the fridge. um, so she's a tiny, but she works really good. All right. The steps are kind of the same as being in the house, figuring out your meal plan, figuring out like how to reduce stress through making a plan. And honestly, that's a lot about what I talk in the book once you get over the whole being so hard on yourself. And that's why I'm coming to you imperfectly with my notes. I don't care anymore. I'm going to do it scared and get it done and hopefully help a few people along the way. So the first thing I do in my meal prep, I don't like to say meal prep because that's like the actual like, prepping to cook. Meal plan, we'll call it. See what you have. Go through your cabinets, go through your fridge, go through your freezer, go through your pantry, whatever it is. Take kind of an inventory of what you have left before you even start, because especially if you're trying to stick to a budget or any kind of health, a nutrition plan or whatever, see what you have. Or if you're like me, living in an RV with very limited space, um, you don't want to buy multiples of things when you don't need to. So go through your cabinets, go through your freezer, go through your fridge, see what you have, and then figure out what you can make with what you already have. Like, for instance, I have a box of pasta, I have some tomato sauce, and I have some frozen meatballs. So I don't need to buy that stuff. There's a meal. Boom. We're going to have spaghetti meatballs one night. Put that down. That's one night, one meal that I don't have to buy buy stuff at the store, bring home, all of that stuff. Anyway, it's kind of like that. Like if you have some chicken and some rice and some vegetables, boom, you got a meal. Anyway, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Look at what you've got so you don't buy multiples. You're saving money and um, you're planning your meals all at the same time. The next thing I do is look at your schedule. And this goes for if you're on vacation, if you're, you know, working mom, if you're got a lot of activities, if your schedule's all over the place, if you're planning for a family, whatever. Look at your schedule. What days do you have time to actually cook? Like that you can chop and like do something that takes a little bit longer to cook. And what days do you need to come home and have dinner on the table in 5 minutes? Like that could be that's where the meal prep comes in, to like making some freezer meals. And when you get home from the grocery, you throw it all in a freezer bag and throw it in the crock pot in the morning and dinner is ready. That sort of a thing. So yeah, kind of like look at your schedule and figure out what days you have time to cook and what days you need to be ready in a hurry. Um, and that kind of helps you pick out your menu. Um, you know, I also look at the weather sometimes, like, um, is there a little cold snap during the week, or, that maybe a pot of chili would be good, or is it like really, really hot for a few days and you don't want to turn on the oven or the stove at all and you grill some burgers, or you just have something cold. You can have cold sandwiches for dinner. Who cares? It's you, your family, whatever. But anyway, pick your menu. Pick what you want to make every night for however long. If you're going to the grocery once a week, here, like I said, there is a little grocery store in town, but everything's $1 to $2 more. Um, they don't always have everything that you're looking for, and yeah, I just like to have the variety and be ready to go. It's the grocery store that's close by. Uh, it, it's good in a pinch, but it's not something that I want to buy my week's groceries at. Um, so it's like an hour and 15 minutes to get to like a supermarket. Um, anyway, so I actually have planned out 12 days, 12 days between shopping trips, because it's a long time to get there, a long time to get back. And I think that everyone in the area is kind of like, okay, everybody's going to the grocery today from like all these towns. And so it's like crazy busy. And the other thing about RVing is every town, even if it's the same chain, it's the stuff is in different places. So it always takes me a while to get used to a store and figure that stuff out. And that kind of drives me crazy. And I like going food shopping, but not when it takes like 2 hours to get everything in your cart. Anyway, so uh, in my notes, one thing, especially if you're far away from the grocery store, don't forget your cooler bags or a cooler or something. So nothing sucks worse than buying a crap ton of groceries and having some of your cold stuff not be cold when you get home, because that hour to an hour and 20 minutes coming home, yeah, even with the AC on in the Jeep, it doesn't stay cold. So anyway, I did forget one time and had to buy more because I didn't want to waste the money on coming home with bad food. Anyway, when I come home, I'm gonna be real with you because that's what I do here. I just shove everything in the fridge or the freezer and the cabinets, and then I take a break, go do something fun. But then either later that day or the next day, um, I go through everything, and I like to uh, pack the fridge and freezer like as the meal. And it just kind of like makes cooking time a whole lot easier, faster. Um, that I'm not like digging through the freezer trying to find the one thing I'm trying to look for. Also, if you buy the value packs, like if you get like a bunch of chicken breasts or chicken thighs, or like I got a really big roast, which it's just the two of us now here in the RV, and Dakota. So that's three. But I like to like take whatever those big things are, and I'll split them. I'll portion them out. Like I'm going to cut the roast in half, and I have this big roast for two different meals. And the same thing with chicken and fish and everything that I buy. I will portion it out into bags or wrap them in plastic, whatever you want to do. Just it's little tips to make things a little easier. The other thing that I do, and I highly suggest it, is to post your menu somewhere in the house, in the kitchen, on the fridge is where I always do. Here, I don't, our fridge is wooden, so we can't put magnets on it. And I got little command strip things, and I have a dry erase board right on the wall next to the fridge. And that has our menu and the grocery list. So here, let's go for a little walk and I'll show you that. And see, there you go. Menu for 12 nights. This is actually 11 nights. We had hot dogs last night. And the grocery list right next to it. And get straightened up back in my spot with my notes. So having that menu posted, it takes the stress of when you're home from a great day or a not so great day, if you had to work or whatever. You don't have to like, oh, what am I making for dinner tonight? It's right there, done, ready to go. Biggest thing, make it easy. Make your shopping easy. Make your meal plan easy. Um, Having good, nutritious food is very important. I'm not going to take that away. There's a lot of shortcuts in the grocery store. Um, I started to say pick your poison. I don't want to get into the whole like ingredients that you can find in the grocery store. Um, but the important thing is that while good food is very important, don't stress over it. Balance is key. Take shortcuts when you can. Um, Take care of yourself the best you can. Take care of your family the best you can. Um, Pick your battles, is what I'm going to say. Pick your battles. Um, the occasional not healthiest meal. Like I said, I don't want to get into that, but there is shortcuts that you can use to save on your soul and your stress levels and your relationships with your partner, your family, and yourself. So make it work for you. That's one thing that I think is very important to say, especially when it comes to lowering your stress levels and meal planning. So if you'd like any more details on living your life with less stress, please check out my book on Amazon, Secrets for Less Stress by Angie Bucy. And I will put a link in the description of this video. And please hit like if you'd like to see more like this. Subscribe if you like to see more videos like this. And I would also love it if you would put a comment below with any questions you have for me. It can be about your living a life with less stress. It can be any questions as a small business owner that's looking to live a life with less stress. Because I'm looking to create for you as well, and or RV life. Um, you're going to see a mixture of everything: our travels, RV life, everything about living a life with less stress. So comment below any questions, suggestions you have, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And thank you so much for spending 15 minutes of your day with me. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.